We are now recording. So we are making brownies today, homemade brownies, and I'm really excited about these. I've made these a few times while being stuck at home. They are pretty simple, which I like, and you can add in your own things, which I also like, and we'll get to that. The first thing I want everyone to do, if you haven't already, I just did it, is to wash your hands. So I'm going to give everybody a second for that. And while you're washing your hands, I'm going to go over the ingredients. The first thing you need is unsweetened chocolate. Mine came in a bar form and you need 3 ounces. The bar form came in a 4-ounce package, so I'll talk about that. You need a 1/2 cup of butter. Mine's softened. If yours isn't softened, that's okay. We're going to be doing some microwaving with it. You need, I have stuff all over here, sugar, 2 eggs, and mine are in this bowl, trying to stay safe. Let's see, vanilla extract, regular salt or sea salt. I just have regular table salt, but if you have sea salt, that will be extra good. And then flour is the last ingredient. Mine's tucked up in there, so I'm going to leave it there. And then if you wanted any extras, I'll let you know right now that I have sprinkles, which are not open yet. I'm gonna have to open them, but I have 2 kinds of sprinkles. I have some chocolate chips that I'm not sure if I'm gonna mix in yet or put on top, but I have chocolate chips. And then tools that you'll need. I see one quick question. I'll let you know when to turn the oven on, or that'll be a step we all do together. So no worries about that. That was the question. Tools that you'll need is a pan. I'm using an 8x8 or 9x9 would work well too. Parchment paper, foil, or something to grease your pan with. A whisk, a spatula, a bowl, and then some measuring tools. So I have my 3rd cup, my 4th cup, my 4th teaspoon, and my 1 teaspoon. If you end up needing to grab things during the process, that's okay. We will be making sure I got the questions. I'll be going slow enough to make sure that everyone has enough time. We have a full 30 minutes. This might not take that whole time anyways, so we will go from there. So yes, we got asked about the oven, and that's what we're going to start with. The first step is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, or start preheating your oven. Give everybody a second for that. And just so you know, as you're doing that, I will be trying to send this recording back out along with the recipe that we're using today in case you want to make this again or get behind or would like to do this later and are just watching now. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to go back and watch our other Kids Who Cook, we made pizza lollipops and cookie in a mug, and we've made breakfast. Those are up right now on the Kids 5 to 12 page at Arapahoe Libraries. On the website, and so you can go back and watch those and do those as well. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we need our chocolate, and I forgot to say, since I already have it out, a knife, and I'm going to turn my camera down so you won't be able to see me. We need to chop up our chocolate, roughly chopped. I started mine. I'm going to move some things. So mine came in this bar form. It had 4 sections, so I took one off because we only need 3 sections, 3 ounces, and we are just going to roughly chop it up. So in pieces that are like this big. So maybe you've already chopped yours up since I put in the website that it was supposed to be roughly chopped, but if you haven't, get an adult to help you roughly chop up your chocolate. I just have this little piece left, and so I'm going to work on that, make sure there's no questions. This is going to be melted down, so it doesn't need to be perfect. When I started cutting mine earlier, I had it all over the floor, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what cooking is about. We are exploring and trying new things. There we go. So I'm going to give everybody a second to chop up. If you have already chopped yours up, you can go ahead and stick it in your bowl. Also, if you've already chopped it up, you can go ahead and get your pan ready. I'm going to do it after this, but you can go ahead and either put parchment paper in your pan, foil, or you can grease it. So that's going to be the next step that we do. So I just have 2 more bars. You can kind of see my pile here. Again, it's going to get melted, so it doesn't have to be super small pieces. If you have any really big chunks, I would cut those up, but if you want to add a little extra chocolate, you could do the rest of your bar if you got it in bar form, but 3 ounces is plenty, especially if you're going to add in anything else. So I am just going to set that aside. I'm going to check my pile, make sure I don't have any crazy big pieces. I was joking that the first time I made these, I think was the first time I've made brownies, not from a box, in my whole adult life. They're super easy, and yeah, I make them quite a bit now. Okay, I have a couple more big pieces, and then I'm gonna do my pan. Make sure we don't have any questions. Doing good so far. Okay, so I have my pan here. I'm gonna start getting that ready. If you're still chopping your chocolate, that is completely okay. I'm gonna mute so I don't make everyone have that sound be too loud for a second. I am greasing my pan with just a little bit of extra olive oil. We're out of the spray kind, so I'm doing it just a different way, but just a little bit extra here. All right. If you are still chopping your chocolate, I'm going to give everybody just about another minute. And then we're going to do our next step. If you don't get your pan done, that's okay. It can be done at the end. It can also be the last step. I just like to have mine prepared. So I'm going to set it aside. And you're going to need your bowl next and your butter. And remember, if you missed it, you can use the chat or Q&A function down at the bottom, and you can send your chats just to me so that nobody else will see them. About 30 more seconds. If you are interested, I think our February one, I still have all of it in my hands, is taco cups. And that I think will go up on the website on January 1st. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, we are going to take our chocolate and we are going to put it in so it has to be a bowl that can go in the microwave. I should have said that in the beginning. So it has to be a bowl that can be microwaved. I see a chat and I will get it just after this. No worries. You need a 1/2 cup of butter. So I just have one of these. So we had our 3 ounces of chocolate, and then we need a 1/2 cup of butter. And we are going to put our butter in the bowl with our chocolate. Put this up for a second. Okay, so we have our 1/2 cup of butter and our 3 ounces of cut up chocolate in the bowl, and we are going to microwave this to get some melty chocolate. We want to do this in 30-second bursts to start out with, and after every 30 seconds, we're going to stir it. So I don't think I said you need a spoon, probably because I don't have one out either, but you'll want to get a spoon to stir your chocolate. So I'm going to put mine in my microwaves up here for 30 seconds, and we're going to let it go. Make sure we have no questions. We are doing good. So we just are going to get our chocolate and our butter nice and melted. I'm going to double check my directions here. You'll know when you're done when your chocolate is mostly melted and that there's only just if there's a few chunks that remain, that's okay, but we want it to be mostly melted. Stop it here so it doesn't beep at you guys. And I'm going to stir. So my butter was pretty soft and is starting to melt, but my chocolate's definitely going to need more time. There is a way to make this over the stove. It does take a little bit longer. I do have one chat, so I'm going to check that in a second. So if you don't have a microwave, I can send you the stove directions. I'm checking a Q&A, 1 second. If you don't have the bar form, you just need about 3 ounces of chocolate. I'm trying to think how much that would be. I'd probably say I at least had a 1/3 cup of chocolate. Let me see. Yeah, it says about 0.375 cup. So a little bit over a 1/3 cup of chopped chocolate. My oven's preheated, everything's beeping at me. I'm going to stir my chocolate again, and 2 times might have been good for mine. So I'm going to give everybody another minute or so in case 1 minute of melting wasn't as good for yours. So mine is pretty smooth. I don't have any chunks left. All of the chocolate is melted, and I'm just stirring the butter and chocolate together. Okay. I think we've got all the questions. Keep them coming if you have them. Okay, mine is mixed up well enough. I'm going to move my bowl back over here and move my camera again. If you are done, I'll tell you the next things to get. If you're not done, I'll give you another 30 seconds or so. You're going to need your whisk, and pretty much the rest of your ingredients will be slowly adding in. So the first one that you're going to need is your sugar, though. Okay, move this back down. Give everybody another 30 seconds or so. Remember, you can throw questions into chat or Q&A. You're going to need your sugar next, though, and I'm going to be using my 1/3 cup. Okay, friends, if you are behind, go ahead and put it into the chat just to me and let me know. Otherwise, we are going to keep going. And like I said, I'm trying to go as slow as possible. But we are going to next add in our, let's see. Yep. So we are going to need, yep, don't worry everyone. As soon as we say as soon as I say an ingredient, I'll say how much we need. I just got 2 questions about that. So we are going to need 1 1/3 cup sugar. So 1 cup and then an extra 1/3 cup. So I'm going to use my 1/3 cup 4 times. I'm going to make sure I mark these as answered so I don't think that we still have some. All right, so we are going to do 1 1/3 cup sugar. So I'm gonna just 1. Make sure here. Okay, everyone seems to be on track. So I got my 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 cup. And then my 1/3 cup. So 4. So 1 1/3 cup sugar. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to whisk it in. If you have a spoon, that could work better too. You just want to get it mixed in a little bit. Shake it all out. And you're next going to need your 2 eggs. So I just kind of combined the sugar and the chocolate. It's not mixed in super well yet. We'll get to that. And so we're going to do 1 egg at a time. I'm going to crack, break it, whisk. I'll give everybody a chance to wash hands after the eggs. I can never manage to crack an egg without getting it on me. Okay, I have my 1 egg mixed in. Give everybody a little bit. Actually, we'll do the other egg and then give everybody a little bit. So 2nd egg. So far we have our sugar mixed in, and then this will be our 2nd egg. You just want to get it mixed in as well as you can. It's starting to look like a brownie batter, which is exciting. Okay, I'm going to wash hands quick and give everybody a second to finish that step and also wash hands. Okay. How's everyone doing? Let me know if you need anything. Everyone seems to be doing good so far. Give myself some more room here. The next thing that we are going to add in is our vanilla extract. And we are going to add in 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So my 1 teaspoon, I'm just going to dump it in. Also going to use my whisk on that. Okay, And then the last thing that we are adding is our salt. Everybody keep stirring. We're almost to the final steps. Or these kind of are the final steps. So don't worry if you need another minute or two. So again, you can either use table salt or sea salt. I wish we had sea salt, but we don't. And there are different measurements for each. So I'm going to wait just one more second to make sure everyone has enough time. Okay, excuse me. So you need, if you're going to use table salt like I am, you need a 1/4 teaspoon. If you're going to use sea salt, you can use a 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/4 teaspoon for regular salt, so it's just a little bit, or a 1/2 teaspoon for sea salt. I'm just going to pour mine over here so I can pour it over this cup. Okay, you're just going to dump it in the bowl and mix that in as well. It's starting to smell good. I'm so excited to eat these later. Okay. Give everybody one more second, and then our last thing is going to be your flour. So if you need to get your flour, go ahead and do that now. I'm going to kind of clear my space. I also need to do some rinsing of my 1/3 cup, so I'll be right back. We are going to use 2/3 cup flour. So I'm going to rinse my, my 2/3 cup, and I'll be right back. All right. I'm going to use my spatula for the next step. So you can take your whisk out. And we are going to grab our spatula. I thought I lost mine. Here it is. And we are going to add in our flour. So we are going to add in 2/3 cup. I'm going to add in 1/3 at a time. So 1/3. Doing good on questions. Okay. And I'm going to kind of fold that in and stir it in with my spatula. I am really good at getting flour everywhere, so we'll see how this turns out. Looks like we'll be at perfect timing today, which is awesome. Okay, I have that one mostly stirred in. And I'm going to do my other 1/3 cup. Oh, I already found chocolate on the floor. Okay, my last. So 2/3 cup of flour total. Mix that in. Just keep mixing and stirring and folding until you get that folded in. My hand is getting tired already. It's gonna be worth it. Gotta get the flour on the sides. Let's see, question. If your bowl is a little bit small, you can either try to transfer it to another bowl and start mixing in the flour. You could try to mix it in your pan if you want, if that's bigger. We just had to make sure we get all the flour in. So those are my 2 suggestions if your bowl was too small. That was the last step, so you won't be needing to add anything else, if that helps. I don't see any other questions, so we should be good. So that is the last step, and now it's up to you what you want to do with your brownies. So you could add things in if you would like, chocolate chips or nuts or whatever you would like. I'm just going to put mine in the pan. I think I'm going to add myself some chocolate chips really quick, make these extra chocolatey. I'm going to pour them in the pan and then add some sprinkles. These need to bake. You could add salt on the top if you would like. That sounds like a really good idea. So good question there. You can add anything you want on top. I'm going to add some sprinkles on top. Salt sounds like a good idea. Sea salt especially. I wish I had that. I also wish I had caramel to swirl in. But these bake for 20 to 30 minutes depending on your oven. I'm going to check mine at 20, but I'm guessing they'll need to cook for at least 25. So I'm going to fold in some chocolate chips. You don't have to add in anything if you don't want to. But so if you are done and you just want to put them in your pan, that's the next step, which I'm going to do after I fold these in. And we'll get that going. Make sure we've got all the questions answered. Okay, everyone sounds like they're doing good. If you want to send pictures of your brownies after the program to me, you can, to the email that I sent out. I love seeing your creations after this and how things turned out. So I'm gonna just scrape these right into my pan, and you'll want to spread them out. And then if you missed the beginning, the oven is at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. They'll most likely be on the later end of that, but just with oven differences, I wanted to make sure that everyone had the right directions. So I'm gonna spread mine out. My aluminum foil got a little out of hand, but so I'm just gonna add sprinkles to this. I had a little bit of what's it called, powdered sugar left over, and so from baking something else. So I made a little bit of peanut butter frosting to go on some of it. So you can really kind of jazz these up however you want, or if you just want plain chocolate brownies, these are for you as well. So I'm gonna add some sprinkles, like I said, to mine, and then just throw these in the oven. And that is it. This is how you make the super easy 7-ingredient brownies. If you have questions, definitely feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes, but that is all that we have for today. Thanks for hanging out. This is one of my favorite programs that has been happening during virtual time, so please join us for another one, and thank you all for coming. So I'm going to mute, but I'm going to keep an eye. I'm still going to finish cooking these, and I'll keep an eye on chat and Q&A for now. So I just saw how long do we bake again. So you bake for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to check mine at 20. I'm going to set a timer, but I will most likely be baking them for 25. How do you know when they're ready? Good question. You can stick a toothpick or a fork in the middle, and when that toothpick or fork comes out clean, it means they're done. So if there's little pieces of brownie or batter, mostly batter, sticking to the fork or the toothpick, it means that they're not ready yet and you need to leave them in for a couple more minutes. Don't overcook them. They'll still cook for a minute or two when they come out, but as long as the toothpick is mostly clean, you are good to go. Let's see. You are very welcome. Thank you for coming, Elizabeth and William. So I'm adding my sprinkles quick. Maybe going overboard on the sprinkles, but they'll be great. All right, mine are done. I'm popping these in the oven. I'm setting my timer for 20 minutes. And I am ready to start smelling the good brownies. All right, friends, let's see. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully see you soon.